This is called a secretary, right? How did you get this?
Well, Grandma Morgan had one up in Wisconsin, and I always liked it. Always wanted one. And one day I was down at Jefferson's place in Yemassee, and they had that one. I said, "How much you want for that?" She said, $100. Well, $100 was hard to get at that time, but I peeled out $100 and I told her, I said, "Bring it to my house." And we was living in Yemassee then.
That had to be in the 60s.
Huh?
That had to be in the 1960s, probably.
Yeah, probably so. But to me, $100 was nothing to pay for that thing. She thought I wouldn't want it for $100. But I always liked the one that was at Grandma's house. And that's almost exactly like the one she had. Right now, the only thing that I can see difference is that has that curve up at the top.
Oh, that's my favorite piece of furniture in this
And
house.
she didn't have, hers was just rounded at the top. It didn't have that curve in it. But from the day I went in that house and I saw that thing, I liked it. Never thought I'd be able to have one like it. And then when Wilson Johnson had that one and I got it for $100, I paid the $100. I said, "When you go bring it to the house?" She said, "Just as soon as you leave here and it gets put in a truck." And so we had it in Yemassee, and I've had it ever since.
Oh, I like it too. Do you remember when Curtis came to Waldoboro from Florida to pick Matt up? And I called him and I asked him to look by Mama's secretary.
Mama's got a secretary. I could just hear him saying that. Mama got a secretary.
What's her name?
Merle's treasure.
I remember that because I was on the phone and he said, "Your mama has a secretary? Who is she and where's she hiding?" He had never heard of a desk called a secretary
Well,
before. Go.
did you say go?
I did say go, yes, ma'am.
All right. Mary's asked me to talk about my daddy and he was a good daddy. Lord knows he took me on his knee to eat. From me 11 and 12 years old, I sat on his knee to eat. My plate was up there and his plate was there. Each one of us had our plate, but I'd be sitting on his lap to eat. And Mama said one day, "I don't know when you're going to let that long-legged gal quit eating on your D-Daddy," said, "when I die." And whatever J. Mary Ann wanted me to tell you is about what?
When Pa was diagnosed with diabetes.
When he was not.
When he found out he was a diabetic.
Well, it was just that he liked to eat regular food when he got to be a diabetic. And one day he was sitting out on the back porch on the steps, and I was sitting by him, and he was holding his head, because Mama had to change the way she cooked, and he couldn't have pancakes and syrup, he didn't think. So Mama came out there and she said, "What you two doing out here?" He said, "Thinking about pancakes and syrup." And she said, "Well, you know you can't have them." He said, "And I'm going to die without them." She went in and whatever she had started cooking, she put it aside. And now let me tell you, my mama didn't have no gas stove at that time. It was a stove you heated with wood. But she took that supper that she'd cooked and she made pancakes and syrup. All three of us ate pancakes and syrup that night. And he didn't die that night either.
Yeah, he lived to be almost 63, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Way back in the 40s and 50s, we didn't get to town very often, and we had grocery trucks coming through that would have everything that you could buy, or most everything that you needed to buy right there without having to go into the city to get groceries. And Mama and this one man, his name was Myrtle, he came up and he had a camper light on the back of his pickup, and he had groceries up in there. And Mama would give him chickens to give him live chickens to pay for our groceries. Well, he went to put the chickens up in the little coop he had in front of his door, and Mama being the devil she was, she liked to pick at people. He had a stick of bologna hanging up in the back of his vehicle. And Mama just took a big bite out of that bologna, and when he got back, she'd already swallowed it and bought the things she wanted out of that little grocery truck. And the next time that he went to the family, and one of them wanted some of that bologna, he saw that bite out of there. He said, "I know who done that. That's that hateful Donny." So he come back with that piece of bologna, and he asked her, he said, "Now I want you to pay for this." I don't remember if Mama paid for it or not. She might have said, "I didn't do it." I don't know. That's it.